I oftentimes think about how I can make an entire symphony in my bedroom. It may not sound that good, but I can still make a symphony in my bedroom. Alright, I have a few days off of school because of the snow. Not that bad. I decided to work on a video that I've had planned for a while, making a symphony in the Bren studio. You know, it's not a great studio, but you work with what you can get. However, I do have a few issues, some that can't be resolved and some that we'll have to work around. There's two major issues that we have to work around. First issue we would have to work around is instrumentation. I do not know how to play brass instruments nor any stringed instruments, which are the major components of symphonies and orchestras. All I know is alto sax and piano, and my saxophone is still at the school. I forgot to take it home. The problem can be worked around by just writing what you envision on the DAW, this being FL Studio, and then taking what you wrote, rewriting it in a score, and then having orchestras play it. That isn't that simple to do. You have to have connections, you have to take it to an orchestra, one that you know, and I do not know any orchestras because I'm an 18-year-old in high school. My connections are very low. The second issue that is still very complicated but easy to work around is... Okay, so before we get into this, I did make a mistake. This second issue is not actually a thing, although it is a little bit more complicated than it should be, but you can still change the time signature. Yeah, sorry for that mishap. I guess just enjoy the rest of the video. Metric modulation. Metric modulation is changing the time signature in a song throughout the piece. Time signatures, by definition, are notational conventions used in Western musical notation to specify how many beats are contained in each measure, and which note value is equivalent to a beat. To sum it up, it's how many beats a phrase of music gets. The most common time signature is 4/4. The 4 on top represents how many beats the measure gets, 4 for instance. The 4 on the bottom represents what note gets the beat, 4/4 being the quarter note. But this is not actually my issue here. The issue is FL Studio allows you to change the time signature in the piece, but not multiple times per song, this being metric modulation. Ableton allows this, but I don't have the money to switch right now, so the solution around this is gonna be writing in 4/4. Oh man, it took so long to get everything just set in place. Writing an entire symphony in your bedroom is not easy. I didn't make sheet music for it, but that's because there's not a lot of good free notation websites and I'm not spending money on one right now. The song itself does consist of a lot of intense music theory, not comparable to a lot of scores out there, more than you would hear just some 18-year-old making for some reason. I did some research on it. It is a concerto symphony.
Concerto.
I did do some research on it. It is a concerto. I think I said that right. Concerto symphony. So I'll show you guys it and then I'll play the whole thing. Should I just leave my camera like this? Welcome back to Beat Making with Bren. Today we're gonna be making a beat. Actually, I don't want my video up here. I'm just So I set this up in a way so there's only symphonic instruments and nothing else. Everything on here could be rewritten in sheet music. Like, I'm not gonna add like a weird random synthy kick, put that on a sheet music. Like, you must have a kick preset. I don't know. That sounds stupid. So instrumentation wise, there's not actually that many different instruments, but the reason there's multiple is because the way these symphonic plugins work is you can only have one articulation. You may even be able to have more than one in one plugin, but to be fair, I really do not want to do the research right now. So I did simply look in the effects, get everything set in the effects and articulation, clone it, make it a different articulation, and you get like sounds like the same, it just sounds like a different articulation. It's 2 horns, that's a string, a bass string, and I think this is the trumpet. Yeah, it's a trumpet. So bass kick, cymbal, I think this is a woodwind ensemble. More trumpets, but different articulation. An oboe. I think this is the marimba. Yeah, marimba. I think this is the violin. You got a gong. So, and then this is a horn again. The hardest, and I gotta turn on my camera for this one, except not be upset. So the absolute hardest instrument of this track, by definition, by the Holy Lord's name, is this instrument right here. Grammy worthy. Literally Grammy worthy. Let's get this track going. This is so stupid, bro.